Your next challenge is entitled Return the Middle Characters of a String. Create a function that takes a string and returns the middle characters. If the word's length is odd, return the middle character. If the word's length is even, return the middle two characters. Let's look at some examples. Consider the word test. Notice the E and the S is grabbed, the middle two letters of the word. For testing, we got just the letter T, right? Because it's an odd count here. This first one was 4 letters. This one is 7. So we simply grab the one in the middle. Middle has 6 letters. We're going to grab 2 in the middle then, per the instructions, and you get the DD. And A is a lone letter, so you just return it. Notes are all test cases contain a single word. Okay? So let's head over to code. I think that's clear. Please pause the video and try this yourself first. Come back when you're ready. So we have a little bit of a weird thing going on here, right, where it's sort of dependent upon the length of the string, you know, whether we return 1 or 2 letters, and we'll see that affects where we sort of index into the string as well. So I'm going to be referring to the size of the string a lot, so I'm going to just make a variable to hold it. String.length. Okay, we'll do that. And then I can refer to my variable. It's not terribly useful here, but imagine a scenario where instead of length you were making a method call and it was maybe expensive or more expensive than you'd like it to be. When I do it once and sort of cache the results right here in a local variable, I'm not continually processing that request. And so that's something to keep in mind when you're working. And then let's set up a flag to denote whether it's even or not, the size of the string. So let's call it is even size. And we'll say that is, do you remember how we determine even or odd? We've done that in the beginner series challenges. We can say size modulo 2 is equal to 0, right? That would mean that it's even, otherwise it's odd. So nothing new there. And then we have the issue of if we're returning 1 or 2 letters. So let's say int num letters to use. How about that? And the number of the letters to use will be, we can say, we have this variable now is even size. And I can use the ternary operator. If it is even, we'll say use 2 letters, else it's odd, and we're just going to use 1 letter. So, next thing, we've seen with strings how to grab portions of them from within the string. And if you recall, there's a method for that with the string class called Substring. So we can say return string substring. I'm sorry, not string. The input, right? The input is a string. We're taking that input and we want the substring. And you know what else we should have done to help ourselves out thinking of the substring method? Let's calculate a start index, right? Because we know that this method takes a start index. Sorry about that. It takes a start index, and then optionally you can tell it how many characters to read. If you don't provide the second argument, it just reads everything after your start index. But in this case, we only want a specific number, so we already have a variable for that number of letters to use. And so we're left with determining this start index, right? And it's different. Imagine that we had a string of length 5, and if we want to get right in the middle, you can divide by 2 with integers. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, but we know when it's defined as an integer, it's going to truncate that 0.5 off and go down towards 0 to the number 2. And that works out in the case with zero-based indexing, right? Imagine 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as your indices. 2 is right in the middle. But that doesn't quite work out. Consider a string of length 4. If you divide 4 by 2, you get 2, but you can see that 2 is the third index in there. And if you start there and grab 2 letters, you're going to take the third and fourth letter. In reality, we want the second and third letter. So, again, is even size. If it is even, let's take size divided by 2 minus 1, right? That'll take us from that third index back to the second index in the case of 4 letters, if you want to think of it like that. And then otherwise we can simply go size over 2, right? So now, because we have all these variables, makes our substring call pretty easy. We just say starts index and numbers to use, and this is doing all the accounting for even or odd. And I think we are ready to run. Let's try this out. Cool, looks like we nailed it. So, all tests, good. Yeah, so that's certainly one way you could do it. Definitely share your solutions or hit me up with questions as needed. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.